Hey, in this video we're going to take a look at Revell's Baron Spirit Eurofighter in 48 scale. Hey, welcome back everybody. In this video we're going to take a look inside Revell's pretty new release of the Eurofighter single seat. Now, when I say it's a new release, it's been out a few years, but this is the Baron Spirit marking. So they just re-released them with different decals, basically, in different color schemes and stuff. But yeah, so not really a big fan of Eurofighter, to be honest with you. I was in the RAF. During the implementation of it, I was more in Tornadoes, and they got phased out. I remember the 56 Squadron came up, and they started bringing the Eurofighters kind of towards the end of my time in the Air Force. I want to, I'm going to actually do a build this one, and not only that, I'm probably going to do a build series. So my next video, after my next build series log, which in a few weeks' time probably, will be this guy right here. So I'm going to build it and video it and show you guys kind of some techniques and how I go about doing it. I'm also going to not going to go with these Baron Spirit markings, the German one. I'm actually going to do it as RAF. I picked up the extra decals set right here, 201314. And if you can see that, I'll show it again in the camera in a little bit. I'm going with the bottom one with the camo tail. So I'm doing the RAF version with the camo tail. So enough waffling, let's switch the camera down, let's see what's inside the box. Okay, so now we're down on the bench. We take a closer look at what's inside the box. Beautiful box art. As I mentioned before, this is a new kit, but it's not a new molding. The original came out around about 2000, so it's about 20 years old. Can you believe we're at 2020? It's almost 20 years already. So it's a 20-year-old kit. Revell, without looking at the box, we kind of know what we're going to get. It can be a little flashy, but again, they're priced pretty low. This box, I did get cheap because it's a damaged box. No part should be damaged, so if you see some dents and whatever in it, that's just, I bought it that way. So this is, again, the Baron Spirit, the German version. I intend to build this one, and I build it in the RAF markings, which we'll look at in a little bit. Same aircraft, just a few little tweaks here and there. So let's, without further ado, let's look inside the box. Okay, so we got instructions and tons of decals, and we got our sprues, clear parts. It's broken off, but fortunately it's not cracked, so I think we're good to go. And we got two big bags of sprues, so let's put that to the side, and as always, let's kind of rattle through the instructions. So it looks like staples have come out of mine, so it's kind of falling apart a little bit, but anywho. All the usual bumps and colours and stuff to start with. Boom, boom, boom. And here we go. So, as pretty much always with fast jets and modern fighter jets, we start with the seats and the cockpit. The seat's supposed to be okay in this. We'll see in the plastic in a minute. There's actually no aftermarket resin seat for this. I looked, and surprisingly for a Eurofighter, they do not make the... I can't remember which version of Martin Baker it is, but they don't do that seat. So, seat goes in, tub. So you put the canards in early. I'd probably, if I can, I'd put them in last once I painted it. Put sandwiching the cockpit with the two fuselage sections, and doing the wheelbase. Then a few lumps and bumps, nose, wings, intakes. Then looks like we're on to possibly some ordnance, engines, landing gear. As always, I'll go for this pretty quick. You guys, I don't want to bore you guys, so you just pause it if you want to look at the more detail. And it looks like the option having doors open or closed for the gear doors. And canopy, open or closed. Fuel probe. You can have either fuel probe, it's like open or closed again. Options. Adding some pylons and the ordnance. So you get sidewinder, storm shadow, GBU 24Bs, fuel tanks are 1,000 litre.
So the instructions actually does give you the option. So it gives you the, which is great for me because I'm doing an RAF one. So it has the German configuration, and it has the RAF configuration. So the RAF would be the one I would want to go with the ASRAMs and a few other little things. So this is the RAF version. And then if you do want to build it in German, this amazing artwork, which does look pretty nice. It's Baron Spirit. And yeah, beautiful. And just decal placement. And then again, the beautiful scheme carries on to the fuel tanks. And again, decals and colors. And that is it. So we have a huge decal sheet. And the decals look pretty good. Very thin. I would be worried that these would be ones that kind of stick pretty easily. They may be hard to move around without tearing. I just get that feeling. It does say printed in Italy, but it doesn't say calligraph on here. But they just feel very matte, and I'd just be worried. You put plenty of water setting solution down just to keep the thing moving. They are huge too if you do go with this scheme. See, this is one giant decal. They're very matte as well, not too glossy. And then for the wings, giant decals, and looks like I can't even. Yeah, so these are giant. These airplanes that kind of come in sections. They're not individual. They come in sets of decals. You got to carry film around each aircraft, and some stencil data. Again, you see closer up. Beautiful. The instrument panel, pretty plain, and the buttons, cockpit buttons below it, 5 and 6. Okay, and let's look at the plastic. So, first of all, the clear parts. Looks mine's broken. Does have a center seam, quite a big center seam to take care of. You see that? It's really, oh, look at that. So I'm not sure the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see the window frame around this side. But on this side, there isn't one. It's not, well, very, very faintly molded. Just about see it. It's a little bit inconsistent molding. In terms of clearness, it's okay. It's average. It's not terrible. It's not good. I mean, just in between. But again, it's a Revell kit, so don't expect too much. Okay, looks like this is the back of the cockpit for the single seat. These are probably modular. You probably build the single or two seater out of this kit probably if you have the right parts. That's the planet cockpit, and got another little bit broken off. The seat actually looks okay in terms of detail, fortunately, because there's no aftermarket one. All little pieces. Here's a cockpit instrument strap panel. And gear looks pretty good. That's those two. Okay, the first bag. Okay, so there's a little flash on here, but there's no flash by the looks of it on the parts. The parts are pretty clean, he says, and yeah. So this is all your ordnance and pods and stuff. It's like the fuel tanks, 1,000 liter. And it's like sidewinders and storm shadows. And here's the big stuff. Okay, so these aren't going to have tons of rivets and stuff, obviously, because these are modern aircraft. So these panel lines that look pretty good, pretty consistent. Just move this out of the way so it's not trying to focus on it. The nose and the cockpit. And finally, almost forgot, last sprue. So not tons of parts, but decent amount to keep you busy. Lower fuselage, the wings, flash on these. Nothing serious, just a quick swipe of the sounding stick. The other wing. And the wheels, two parts. I don't really like two-part wheels, but there you go. Not bad detail though. And the buckets. Pretty plain. To be honest, it looks very much like a Hornet F-18. And well, they're closed with the open ones look a little nicer actually. A little bit more detail in the open ones. And that is it. So I also have the extra Decal RAF decal set. So like I mentioned, I want to build this one and I want to do it in RAF markings. And this caught my eye. It has like the camouflage tail and the spine with the grey. So it's not just a boring old grey, it just have a little bit something to it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of going with. So yeah, so what do I think? It's a typical Revell kit. They're not expensive, you expect a little bit flash. When you build these guys, always make sure you dry fit first, just test fit and just make sure the parts fit before you commit with glue. A couple of things I'm going to do to make this upgrade my kit. I've got the Edward photo etch set for the cockpit, so I'm going to make the instrument panels and the cockpit pop a little bit more. And phase hanger, it used to be known as 2 mics resin. I ordered, they have a couple like an upgrade set for this, so it has pylons, correct RF pylons, it has an APU, the correct APU exhaust, and also FOD covers for the front there. So that's all resin. So I did all that a few weeks ago. I've not received them yet, but I know Texas is a little bit struggling right now with COVID-19, and I know that's where they're based, so maybe they're shut down, I don't know for now, but that's what I plan to add to it. Look at the exhaust nozzles. I might take a quick look online, seeing if there's an upgrade exhaust nozzles and how they look, if that's going to be worth upgrading. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So like I say, I want to build this one, and my intention is to do it in the RF markings as I showed you, and I will probably, well, hopefully document it and do a video build of that one. So that's pretty much it. So like as always, this is Richie from RW Hobbies. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.